Okay, we're going to use the AI Interactive Data Client from Interzoid to pull back some ultimate parent company names, since that's useful information. If you have a company that might be a subsidiary and you want to know who the parent company might be for various reasons, this makes it very easy to do because sometimes that's just hard information to find. So let's just do a quick example using this tool in order to do that. The first thing we're going to need is an API key, and you can sign up at interzoid.com for your API key. Since we hit an API behind the scenes, that's how we control access and meter usage over time. You can get some trial credits to try this out. So that's the first thing you need to do. And then, since this tool can be used to get any data you want, we have to describe what it is that we're looking for. And so it's pretty simple. In this case, we're just looking for ultimate parent company information. Type it correctly. And that's it. We've just given an indication to our API and our behind the scenes knowledge bases, algorithms, and AI models, what it is specifically we're looking for. So that'll help things out. And then we have to describe the output data fields that we want. So we could make it real simple and just say, look, all I want is the ultimate parent company name. And that might be all that we want, and that's fine, and you can go. But let me just, for demonstration purposes, I'll add a couple more fields as well. How about an ultimate parent company description? Maybe we want to know more about the parent company. If it's not an obvious one, that might be useful. We can also add the website, ultimate parent company, and we would just say web URL. That'll be the web address. And then if we want to know a little bit more about how the company we're looking up came to be a subsidiary of its ultimate parent company, why don't we add an ultimate parent company reference URL. So that'll tell us a little bit more about it. So again, you can make it really simple with just the ultimate parent company. But we're going to go a little deeper here just for demonstration purposes, and of course to demonstrate the capability and the power of the tool to describe what you're looking for anything. So let's just try an easy one. We can start with Slack, and we're going to know who the ultimate parent company information is. And I'm actually, in this case, let's go to Model A Premium. You can play around with these different models. They do have some different credit costs associated because some of them do a web search behind the scenes for better data, the premium ones. And so I like to do that, especially some of the more obscure ones. Even though there's a little bit more credit usage involved, I think you're going to get better results, but you don't necessarily need to do it. You can play around with the models and see how it goes. And that's all we have to do. Now I can save our setup if I want to use it later, but for now, all we have to do is click the Run button, scroll down a little bit, and our results will come down here. So I'll click Run. Okay, and here we've got the ultimate parent company name is Salesforce, with a description, some data here, where you could just save the results if you want. I like to click on the pretty view, and so we can see it in a more structured format. So for the description, I can obviously see a much more detailed version of the description. Salesforce is an American cloud-based software company headquartered in, and so on. Parent company web URL. And then it's also providing a reference URL. So I'm sure if you go to this particular Wikipedia page, you'll see some information about the acquisition. And of course, I can try this over and over with different companies if I want. So for example, let's try Juniper Networks for another company. That's all it has to change. Everything else stays the same. And I will run it again. And sometimes these take a few seconds because it is going to the web under the Model A Premium. Just takes a little time to retrieve the results and pull it back. Some of the other models, which aren't as comprehensive, are much faster. But then this one came back pretty quick. Just a few seconds. Ultimate parent company, Hewlett Packard. And again, we go to preview if we want to actually see the details a little bit more easily. And here's some Hewlett Packard closes acquisition of Juniper Networks. So you can get the detailed information about the acquisition if you want to verify it in some way or just read about it. One thing that you can do. And then one important thing is it generates the API that you're using in order to pull this data back. And so you can see it right here. It's the Get Custom API. And here's the topic. The lookup value in this case was Juniper Network. So of course this is what would change programmatically with each API call, the lookup value. It's got the model that you're using and then the output fields in an array. And that's pretty much it. So you could integrate this into anything that you want to get this data from, for example, as part of a data pipeline or an ETL process, or within a web form, an analytics package, whatever the case may be. So again, that's true with any data that you're getting. And if you go here to the menu, you can get more information about the API if you want to learn more about how it works and different ways that you can use it. Or if you just have a CSV file and you want to use a set of parameters to append the ultimate parent company name to hundreds or thousands of records in a CSV file, for example, you can just go to the AI data enrichment dataset batch mode, and some different links here as well. Again, all you need is an API key. Go to interzoid.com. You can go to your account from here and see how many, what your actual API key is, different things like that. Also at interzoid.com. If you have any questions, be sure to send us an email at support@interzoid.com. And of course, visit the website. We'd love to hear from you if you have any questions, but it should be pretty straightforward to get the data that you're looking for in structured form and describing it in structured form, and then integrating it into an API or run the same thing over and over in batch fairly quickly on our parallel processing high performance data platform. Thanks for watching, and go to interzoid.com for more information. Thank you.